Hello and welcome to day number 62. Oh boy. Things came out of nowhere today. Like, things really did come out of nowhere today. So, I have been really demotivated today. And just really like lethargic and just not into anything. It feels like. I mean, it got to about 11 o'clock this morning, and I was hungry enough to eat, but I didn't want to go a whole hog, like have a proper sort of dinner. I just wanted something that was like a snack or something like that, and I ended up going and making a bowl of cereal. So I got I've had cornflakes for a little while. Like I've got some cornflakes, like they're fairly low sugar and things like that. I've got some roasted, unsweetened almond milk. And I also picked up the other day some spelt, some spelt muesli stuff. And that also, like, no sugar, no salt, it's just, here you go. So I put that together into one of the bowls, because while I was stood there making it, I thought, you know what, actually, like, if I have this, it's around about 11 o'clock, it's pretty close to lunchtime. If I have this now, then I'll call that my lunch. And, you know, I don't really fancy mucking around with anything else, so I'll have this. And then I'll do Rowan's lunch, and he'll go for a nap and you know, whatever. So I got it, and I sat there and I ate it, and it was really good. I enjoyed it. It was something a little bit different from what I've usually been having for lunches. And yeah, it was okay, but I didn't finish the entire thing. I got most of the way through, around about, I want to say like 90% of the way through. And then just couldn't finishing it. Just couldn't stomach it. So, you know, threw away the last little bit, because it's by this point, by the time I've sort of said, yeah, I'm going to give up on it. It was soggy and not very nice. Got Rowan sorted, gave him his lunch, got him laid down and asleep. And then I came back in here and just sort of played around. Went out to my area and painted a little bit. I got the motivation for to do that since I finished the thing the other night. I just thought, you know what, I'll do a little bit. So I managed to get about 3 colours worth onto some extra miniatures that I'm working on, and then Rowan was awake, which meant that I had to, you know, get up again. So I went off and gave him a big cuddle, because he was awake and crying, but he wasn't awake. He's still having a lot of trouble with some of his teeth coming through, I think it is. So he's had some paracetamol stuff, like Calpol. I don't know whether or not you've got it over in America or anything like that. Anyone from the UK will know what it is. It's a strawberry flavoured syrup suspension of paracetamol. I think something kind of like Tylenol. I don't know. I've never actually experienced Tylenol, but it's specifically for kids, and you know, like, it's just a mild painkiller sort of thing. So he spent yesterday and today just drooling everywhere and constantly, you know, chomping on things just to try and get a little bit of ease, a little bit of relief, which, you know, I can't blame him. Like, toothache's sucky enough for us adults, right? Like, imagine being a kid and not understanding what is going on or why it's hurting. So yeah, but yeah, like, had a decent enough day, but I've just been sat around, just really unmotivated and feeling kind of just beige, let's say, like that. Like, you think of colours, and beige is about as boring a colour as you can get. It's not too dark, it's not too light, it's just... That's how I felt today. And that's what I felt about, eating and stuff like that. And, just sort of like forged ahead, went through everything, got to dinner time, which was a little bit later than usual. Sigurd was a little bit late in. Basically, she, so we ordered a big bag of cat food, and the big bag of cat food hasn't turned up yet. So Sigurd went down to the Treptower shopping mall thing to pick up a smaller bag of the cat food that we're buying, as well as a couple of other bits. So she got a bunch of snacks for her and Rowan, brought it back, but by the time she'd done that, it was about an hour and a half later than she normally gets back home. Got in, we all sat down, we all ate. I had, here's the bowl of cereal that I had earlier. Yeah, and here's also now what I had for dinner, which is my my overly tomato concoction, which is the nightshade and white cap medley. It is seriously just so much tomato. It's ridiculous. I'm surprised there hasn't been any sort of, fallout from eating that many tomatoes all in one, especially seeing as, they are members of the nightshade family. Like, they are poisonous in enough quantity, I'm fairly certain. So, like, I ate that. I had some bread with it and just mopped up the extra sauce and stuff, because I'd sacrificed some of the spaghetti for Rowan for lunchtime. So it wasn't quite a full single portion that was there. And yeah, everything was fine up until around about, I want to say about 9:15. And I just felt really closed in. I just wanted to get outside for a little bit, and I go for a little bit of a walk and buy some stuff and get some form of snack items, and my God, I wanted to eat a chicken breast or something, here's like a roasted chicken breast with spices and flavorings and what the hell's going on? I don't know where that came from at all. I just had this weird moment where I was like, ugh, gotta have meat. And considering I've been perfectly fine all of this time, I have no idea where it's come from. And it's kind of worrying that it did just pop out of nowhere. I mean, I haven't done anything about it. Like, I went out, I went a little. I engaged in a little bit of retail therapy. And I bought some, I bought snacks that are probably not the greatest things for me. Especially since I haven't been snacking an awful lot during all of this. Like, I've mainly been having my lunch and my dinner, and that's it. And sometimes I'll have like a thing that alludes to be breakfast. And only occasionally will I actually have snacks. I've gotten a little bit more lax about it recently, like within the last 3 or 4 weeks maybe. You know, I've had like Oreos once a week or, you know, a couple of times a week, but I've always admitted to it and told you about it. I've had things where like I've had loads of nuts or something, and I've told you all about it on the occasions that it's happened. But yeah, like today I just kind of went a little bit crazy with it. I was in Lidl and Saguti's asked me to pick up some Diet Pepsi for her, so I picked up 2 bottles of that for her. I found this stuff, which is the Schwip Schwap without sugar or caffeine. So, you know, it's just flavoured water at this point. But yeah, I picked up a single bottle of that. I picked up 4 packs of Oreos, because I figure if I have them there, you know, we're a week away from my mum coming over. She's going to have some. Rowan is probably going to eat quite a few as well, because every now and again he has like 1 or 2 Oreos for a day. Saguta's probably going to raid them as well. And they were reduced in Aldi, so, you know, like grab a few. I picked up 2 bags of a nut medley, which is like hazelnut, walnut, peanut, cashews, all sorts of things like that. But it's just the nuts. There's no salt, there's no added oil, there's nothing. They've not even been roasted as far as I can tell. It's just the edible nuts. It was a little bit more expensive than everything else on the shelves around it, but those were all roasted and salted and stuff, and these weren't. It's literally just the edible parts of the nut. So I picked up that. I picked up a thing of pecans as well, which again is just the pecan nuts. No shell, no roasting, no sugar, no salt, nothing. It's just pecans. So I've now got 3 bags of nuts, plus the walnuts that I've got left over from the other day. I did go a little bit mental. You know, I was in Lidl, and Lidl over here, I don't know what it's like over anywhere else. I know what it's like in the UK, but I don't know whether or not it's in America or anywhere else in the world or anything like that. I would imagine it probably is. But over here and in the UK, Lidl has like a beer aisle sort of thing. And it's craft beers and wines and spirits and liqueurs and all sorts of things like that. And they sell this really, really good German red ale in cans, which is like steam brew, I think it's called. You know, it's like steampunky themed artwork and what have you, and it's less than €1. I think the exchange rate makes it roughly about $1 for a can, but it's really good, and it's like 6%, which is a pretty strong beer. And I really like it. They do a couple of other ones like a stout and a cream ale and that sort of things, but I really like the red German one. So I got two cans of that. Picked up a couple of extra bottles of various different things. Picked up a craft ale in one of those 330ml cans, you know, like just the size of a normal Coke can, which was called something like a Pale Rhino or something like that. But yeah, I just grabbed a few things, put them off to one side, and bought all of this beer and snacks and you know, Pepsi and all that sort of thing. And yeah, it was a little bit of time out of the house, and you know, it wasn't warm because the sun's gone down already. It was starting to get a little bit dark, and it was just a way of sort of dealing with a couple of things. Like I really don't know where this mad urge to have chicken and just stop for today and all of that came from, but yeah, it was just weird, and hopefully that's helped get it out of my system, that I know that I've got these things here. It's only a week up until my mum turns up, Like, I've now been doing this for over 2 months. Like, today is the 62nd day. That means I've had 2 full 31-day calendar months now. So hopefully I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll be fine. But yeah, like, I've been doing really well for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then just out of nowhere, this like just completely self-annihilating thought just popped in and wouldn't let me go. Yeah, it was really, really odd. I don't know if it's something that, is like a fairly common experience, or if it's just hit me now because I've had all of this time without, kind of like how, so here's a bit of an analogy. It would be like you're learning to drive. You've been learning for a while, you've been driving for a while, like you're in full control of the car with, like your instructor thinks that you're really confident and really doing good. And then one day, like 2 weeks before your test, to see whether or not you're actually going to pass, when you're out and about and, you get in the car to start your session and you can't remember how to do anything. It's like that, I want to say. Like, that's what it felt like to me. That I've been doing this for all this time and just went, nah, I don't know anymore. Yeah, it's very strange. It's very strange. But yeah, like especially, like I haven't struggled particularly with my switch to doing this. Like the potato week was meant to be 2 weeks, and there was just one day. Pretty much it was one day. I need to go back and watch everything again because it's been a while now. I'm starting to get those weird urges to like, oh, hey, maybe I should do another potato week. Like, yeah, come on, let's do it. Like, no. Hold off maybe, like as a 1-year anniversary, maybe. But, there's still a while to go before then. But, yeah, like I'm fairly certain I remember it as it was just the last 2 days that were a bit of a struggle. And that was where it got hardest. And then after that, and switching to whole foods plant-based, with starches and things like that in, at that point, everything was fine. And I haven't really struggled. The thing that I've struggled with most since starting is where I had my day off on day 32 and just taking that first bite of meat again for the first time in however long. So to all of a sudden get to this point and have that just slam into me like a sledgehammer against a wall or something is like really, really unsettling and disconcerting. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know the cause of it at all. So yeah, all I can do is hope that tomorrow everything's fine. And, if it won't leave me alone, if it's still the little monkey on my shoulder being like, go on, do it, then, I can probably hold out for an extra week up until my mum comes. And then, we'll go out, we'll go to a restaurant, we'll get food and stuff. We'll indulge the beast. And then lock him up back behind the cage. No more meat for you for another month. Yeah, I don't know. Ah, man. Right. Tomorrow's day 63. Day 63 is a weigh-in day. So we'll see how things are going. I had my little unofficial cheaty weigh-in on Saturday. Saturday or Sunday? Saturday, because we went in a supermarket. The supermarket's closed over here on Sundays. So yeah, Saturday was my little cheaty weigh-in. So yeah, we'll see how things have progressed. I don't think I'm gonna beat the amount that I was in on my the amount that I was on my little cheaty day. I think it's much more likely that I've bounced back up a bit again. So I'm either gonna show as not having lost that much, or being around about the same sort of point that I am now. And I'm fine with that. I hit a good low point this week. Well, there's two low points, I guess. One's an actual specific weight loss low point, and the other's a weird, sort of weird motivational one that's just hit today. But yeah, I know that everything's working still. I'm fully accepting that things are going to happen. I'm going to bounce around a little bit, and there's going to be, wiggles in the curve. But yeah, I don't know. Everything's good. Hopefully tomorrow will be a little bit better. I'll weigh in, and that'll set me up for a good day, and I'll feel great about it. And but it's not the end of the world if I don't come up as completely amazing. Just before I go tomorrow, the plan is that I'm going to meet up with Saguta in Alexanderplatz. We're going to go to the one of the clothes shops there, because she needs a new swimsuit, and I need swimming shorts that aren't going to fall down. And I could probably do with some extra t-shirts or something like that. Things are starting to get pretty loose and weird now. But yeah, swim shorts are definitely the thing. Those ones that I was wearing on Saturday were held up by the tightest knots that I could tie, which wasn't great because it's fat person shorts. They were elasticated more than anything, and I just couldn't keep them up. No matter which gods I prayed to or what hopes I had, things were not great with that. So I need to get some that are gonna fit me and be okay for a bit. I think she wants to get some as well, just to wear with a swimsuit. So yeah, that's the idea anyway. We're gonna go out, get some stuff, bring the boy back here, feed him, feed me, put him to bed. Done. Oh man, right. All that out the way with. I'm gonna go. Day 62 signed off with, and I'll see you tomorrow for a weigh-in. Day number 63. Yeah. Right, have a good one. Thank you very much for joining me, and yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.